Welcome to Forex Daybreak, a daily podcast where we cover 8 Forex pairs and give you our view on the market direction for these pairs. If you are trading Forex market, this is the #1 show to start your trading day. Now, let's begin today's episode.
Good morning everybody and welcome to Forex Daybreak episode 8. In this daily Forex update, I will give you my view on 8 Forex pairs I analyze using EURGBP principle. My name is Ville Vainio and today is 18th of August 2015. Show notes for this episode can be found at forexpodcast.co. Now let's get started. Let's dive right into the markets. First up is EURUSD. The price now 110.76. And yesterday we got a slightly downwards bias on EURUSD, and this is in line with the forecast that is proposing more downside to complete the correction we are now in. So I'm expecting more downside. The 50% Fibonacci retracement level is around 110.3, so perhaps down to those levels we should see a decline. Key levels haven't changed much from yesterday. That Fibonacci retracement 110.3 might give support, and upside resistance 111.28 is the minute wave D peak, which should act as a resistance level. So I'm expecting more downside to come before EURUSD can turn back up. I have talked before that I wouldn't trade this just yet. I would wait for this correction to bottom and turn higher again. There should be a good opportunity to trade the next wave higher. If this analysis is correct, I would wait for this correction to bottom. I'm thinking maybe we should see slight more downside push for this correction to end and then turn up towards 115 levels. And this is the point where I would enter a trade in EURUSD. So let's just be patient and wait for this correction to end. Okay, next up, dollar yen. Dollar yen has been more or less on a sideways range for past few days. There might be a triangle forming, and the price now 124.42. My wave count is proposing a double 3 correction for minuet wave 2. We are now at the mid stage of last 3 wave structure, so ABC structure would be the last Y part of this minuet wave 2 correction. Key levels are more or less the same than yesterday. Support level 123.78 on the downside, and the resistance is on the trend line I have drawn on the chart, gives resistance level around 124.8. I'm expecting a decline towards 123, maybe slightly lower, to complete this last part of the minuet wave 2 correction. Like yesterday, this can be traded to the downside. If there is a triangle forming here, we should be on a later stages, maybe slight upwards move. We are now 124.44, so maybe 124.5, 124.6 maybe, and then dollar yen should turn down. So this can be traded down with perhaps 100 pip move. Should be an okay trade, so this can be a possibility. Let's move on to pound dollar. And pound dollar declined yesterday, first testing the upper area of the range about 156.9. We are now 155.86 and looking bearish. Still quite unclear if we are still forming this large corrective wave or if this is a smaller correction on a way up that we are now in. Nothing much has changed in my view. On pound dollar, the key levels are the same. So the upper area of this sideways range is around 156.89, which will act as resistance and has held for now. On the downside, next support level is 155.33. Those levels should contain this for now. If this has turned higher, we should see a break through that level, which was 156.89 approximately. So when we reach beyond that level, this is looking bullish. My wave count is bullish on this, but still not confirmed. I wouldn't trade this right now. Despite the strong downwards move yesterday, I'm not sure if this is heading lower or this is just a smaller correction on the way up. Next is Euro Pound. More or less the same here. Yesterday we got a decline on Euro Pound, testing the support zone at 76.3 about, and has since gone higher. Key levels are more or less the same in Euro Pound. That downside support was at 76, so 706 area, and the resistance remains 71.66, the latest short-term high, and maybe before that is the peak just near 71.6. So those two peaks would act as a resistance level on the upside. The price action in Euro Pound is not giving clear signal of the short-term or mid-term direction, so I would hold trading on this pair for now until we get a more clear signs on the direction, if this is starting a larger wave higher or if we get still more downside. Maybe this is looking more bullish than bearish, so I'm expecting more upside on Euro Pound. Okay, next is Euro Yen. Also tested support level yesterday with a downwards move, so the high peak at 137.785 was tested and held for now, so perhaps we see an upside move today in Euro Yen. If this is the case, there's possibly an impulsive wave higher starting, so this can be traded to the upside. There might be a 150 to 200 pip move to the upside, so this would give a good trading opportunity. If you are going to trade this, check the lower time frame charts to confirm a 5-wave upside move before entering. Price now is 137.85, and the key levels on Euro Yen are more or less the same than yesterday. 138.88 is the resistance level, which is at the latest high, short-term high, and this 137.785 on the downside has held for now. Perhaps this 137.785 level will hold, and this should give a nice place to put your stop loss if you are going to trade to the upside. So keep this in mind. Okay, next is Pound Yen, and the triangle formation has held here. There's a slight move beyond the upper trend line of the triangle, but this held, and Pound Yen made a stronger move downside. We are now at 193.97, and the decline should continue towards the lower trend line of the triangle, which gives support around 192.85, and the upper trend line should give resistance around 194.68 approximately. I wouldn't trade this pair right now, since triangle is giving quite a narrow range of motion. So when this is over and perhaps we get a larger move to the downside, this gives better trading opportunities on this pair. Okay, next is Euro Canadian. Also more or less the same. This is very overlapping the price action and is not giving clear signal on the trend direction. Here also the support level on the minute wave ep8 has held, which is at 144.9. So there's a slight test below that level, but has held. Perhaps we will see an upwards move in Euro-Canadian also today. The resistance level on the upside is 146.4, which is this December 2014 level. Has held for now and is the next resistance level on the upside. I would hold trading on this pair since this is very overlapping, very choppy price action and is hard to trade and will not give any good results even if this can be traded. So finally we have US dollar Canadian. We have had upwards moves past few days, looking like a three-wave structure and would be in line with the analysis that is proposing this is a B wave of minute wave 4 to the downside. The price is now 139.4, so this 131 level is right now giving us resistance. It hasn't acted as a resistance level actually, or not that strong resistance anyway, but before it has stopped one upside test, so perhaps it will act now as a resistance for the B wave to end, and perhaps we will see start of the next part of this correction to the downside. We should see a 5-wave structure to the downside towards the lowest part of the previous 4th wave, which is at 128.585. So towards those levels, maybe lower than that slightly, we should get the next move in US dollar Canadian. Key levels on Euro Canadian are that the downside support is 129.5 and this 131 on the upside will give some resistance. The latest peak is at 131.5, so maybe this is now the new resistance area. We have a 3-wave structure, so perhaps we have started the next part of the correction to the downside. That's all for today's episode. Visit the show notes at forexpodcast.co. This is the site that is functioning right now when I make the new site on forexdaybreak.com. It should be finished by the end of this week, so then you can check out what's on that site. Thanks for listening, and now go make some profits, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thanks for your interest in Forex Daybreak Daily Podcast. If you like this show, we hope you'll visit our website, www.forexdaybreak.com, and tell your friends about us. Be sure to check the show notes on our website for this episode. Join us next time for another episode of Forex Daybreak.